Okay, we're here. I should get a notice. I'm looking to see. The way this YouTube things work, I'm hoping that there it goes, YouTube. If you have subscribed, you should get a notification of when I go live. Oh, I don't even have my comments up. Let me get my comments up. Oh, the way it did not bring my comments up. Where's my comments and reactions? Oh, there we are. Okay, I think I'm good to get you guys hear me. Yes, you hear me. I see Sharon O, Cindy O, Melody O. Had to add that O on your name, Melody. Sorry, I love it. All right, we're here, we're live. So, what happened Tuesday? Tuesday, I forgot it was even Tuesday. Hey Amanda. Yeah, Tuesday, I totally spaced it out and forgot it was Tuesday. Oh, my flashlight is on my phone. Oh, I can actually see comments on my phone. That's weird. Okay, I usually can't. So anyway, spaced y'all out on Tuesday. Shame on me. I feel so bad. Life's been crazy. Mr. Wilson's trying to play catch up. Start feeling better. In fact, he's been working so hard today. I just sent him a message and said, enough. You got to stop or you're going to relapse. I know that we've sent out. Hold on a second. Sorry, I still haven't gotten over that cough. It just comes and I hate it. I'm here and watching for it to start. Okay. Cindy O, do you hear me and see that we've started? That's what I want to know because you're all saying, okay, I know Melody, you're seeing it. Cindy O, let me know. Cindy O, my sister's name is Cindy. Oh, well, she's a Cindy O now. Okay, so what have y'all been doing? We've had rain these last couple days. It's been crazy. I hear and see you. Okay, so last time, the way I set it up, and then I clicked on the one go live and y'all couldn't see the other. This time I let it start itself. I want you to, hold on one second. This is live, but I want you to look at what's wiggling in that. Okay. That's why I left it. All right. You see and hear me. What have y'all been doing? We've been playing catch up. We have sent out almost, or at least 200 packages this week. And who had snow? Sharon O, you've had snow. Okay, I'll take the rain. I don't like to be cold at all. Just don't like it. Ah. And this set up odd too. It's showing me weird stuff. That's weird. All right, so I bisque fired this. And this is that Laguna speckled buff. And so you see the color when I bisque fire it. There was the back of that. I didn't get a chance to glaze it. I did get a slight crack right there. So I debated whether I should glaze it or not. And And so I've just been looking at it because I wanted to paint it all individually. But if it's already got a small crack, I don't want to waste that time. So what I'll probably do with this one is do an underglaze, white back, do a clear, just so that you can see all the texture. And I have another one ready to go in the Bisfire that I will color all the different colors for you to see. So anyway, that's why I didn't do that. And it got held up. Okay, so we have a customer, very good customer. Her package that we sent out end of December is still missing. And her package that was sent out the first week, there's the hand, of January, no tracking, still missing. So I'm really frustrated. I went to the post office today and talked to the postmaster. Oh, looky. It's my little turtle. Went to the post office today and talked to the postmaster and said, what the heck? Y'all got to figure this stuff out. So here is that. I'm keeping it soft because I'm not done with it. Here is that. Oh, I poked something into it. That's okay. I'll rub that out. Just like that, it's gone. This is that dish that you've seen posted. That after all the work I did, I'm like, I think it will look better if I cut around it. And I plan on carving down here just to give it a little more, waving at the hand, just to get a little more interest down here, I think is what I'm going to do. So it's still slightly, almost hard, leather hard, but I'm keeping it covered in plastic so that I can carve it before it's too late. I just think it needs something more. And so it's sitting here waiting. A Dale Hoppy. Anyway, so there's that. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, I got to show you something. Hold on a second. Okay, I got a wild hair. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Wilson, but I think it was yesterday. And our template for this, the Baroque rectangle-ish template, I looked at that and I said, wow, that would be cool in a form. So we drew it up. Maybe it was the day before, a couple days ago, and made them. I'm going to use a little one just so it'll fit in there. But could you imagine what that's going to look like? Anyhow, so these haven't gone up on the website because I haven't even had a chance to test them yet. But I'm so in love with these. And I think they're going to look so awesome with this shape. So I'm going to create one of those and see how it looks. All right. So I'm not sure if Paula's going to be on tonight. I know she's leaving in the morning for a teaching workshop she's doing in Houston. And it may be better that she doesn't come on because she's going to cringe when she sees yet again what I've done with her colors. I have used her colors, but I haven't used them the way she does. So if you end up on Paula, don't hate me. Melody, you've had stuff lost since Christmas. Yeah. And see, this customer has also filed a missing package report. and it's just a mess. The post office is just a mess. They raise their prices and they lower their customer service. It is what it is. Cindy O, put them on the website. I love that, and we'll test it. Yeah, don't you think? Where is? Let me grab a template. Hold on. Let me grab the template. I think I'm losing my mind. I think I have one right beside me. I did. I got one right here. So this, with this, how yummy. Now this would give you a shorter rim, but you know you mix and match. There is no, the 9 goes with the this and the 8 goes with the that. You mix and match and give yourself whatever size rim you want. You can even go down to this and give it a really splayed out. Hold on. Man, the stuff we had, this cough just lingers. And even do a great big rim. So, and then of course, I don't know that I would do the baby on that one, but it is gorgeous. Something red heart shape. Cindy, I can't, oh, maybe I could see it on my phone. Oh, I guess you put a heart on there. It says something red heart shape on my computer. I'm like, that's weird. Oh, and by the way, I probably shouldn't be blabbering because I'm going to tell you, tonight's live, I really should have broken into 2 parts. It's a long one. So I did edit a bunch of redundancies to go faster and then go back to slow if I had something to say, and then go faster. So we're going to get into it because there's a lot of video today. So be sure and put things in the comments. I can respond to those while the video's playing. And here is the first part, video 1. And I think there's like 12 videos. Hey, Nancy. So let's start with video 1. This is, if you can't stay on for the live, that's okay. This will all go into as one video on YouTube. So you could go back and watch the replay and then fast forward through even more of the redundancies to see what we did. But this is going to be a long live. Sorry. Hey, everyone. Okay, goofy me. I totally forgot today was Tuesday. And so I am now making the project that I'll actually show you on Thursday. This clay is Laguna's D3 dark brown clay because I'm still out of B-Mix. And you know, I haven't used dark brown clay for a long time. And I need to do some reclaiming and some pugging. And I really love this Laguna D3 with mixed, marbled with my B-Mix. So I need to get using some of this so I have some scraps to go in with my B-Mix. Yesterday was Mr. Wilson's birthday. So you would think I would have remembered today was Tuesday. Of course, when you see this video, it's not going to be Tuesday because I was too late to get this done because what I'm going to do is really going to take some time between techniques. So I won't be able to just get this done in an hour. So again, this is Laguna's D3 dark clay, and what I have here, oh gosh, about of a quarter of an inch or so. I'm going to just release this. Whew. This looks like what I'd been using, but that was speckled, and when you bisque the speckled, it goes to a light orange, and then when you glaze fire it, it goes to a light tan with speckles. It's really pretty. This will stay dark. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try a bunch of new things. So how many of you watched the clay something that was this past weekend? So I watched and I had several fun ideas that had been brewing, and I'm like, that's what I needed. So I'm going to take this. This is a Happy Flowers template. This is the 13-inch. Oh, my face is in your way. Let me get me out of the way, and I'll be over on this in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and cut around this. Actually, I should put the brown side down, or it's going to stick. Oh, you know what? We changed material. I don't have a black side anymore. Duh. Can you see why I decided not to go live? It's been one of those days. Oh my gosh. I know we all have them. And, you know, we're coming off having been sick for... Hey, I have a question for y'all. So, this particular video series, let's call it, like this first video is almost 30 minutes. The second video is probably 15 or 20. And then there's 5 and 8 and 6 and 4. So it's going to be well over, it's 5:20 now. It's going to be well over probably an hour and a half. So put in the chat real quick. Do you want me to just continue this video and back and forth with the live and stuff? Or do you want me to wrap it all up and put it in a solid video out here on YouTube where you can sit and watch and fast forward? Or you're going to be sitting here for 29 minutes, then I come back, and then another 15 minutes, then I come back. So tell me what you think real quick. I am happy to sit here. I just don't know if y'all can do that. So let me know what you think real quick, and then put it in the comments as I let the video continue, and I'll watch the comments. Hey everyone. Comes up. Mr. Wilson makes those, and that poor man was in bed sick. So, all right, I'm going to pop this off and clean these edges up a bit. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go around these edges. My sponge is just barely damp. And, you know, sometimes you get the little gerbery stuff that comes up on the top. If you just take your rib and just lightly go over that, that will put that right down. And that's easier than trying to smush it down with your sponge. Okay, to get this up without stretching it. And I am going to bring this over here. Oh, and lay this on here. I might have stretched it just a bit when I went to grab at my bending wheel. That's good. So you see, this is what I was talking about. That comes up. So I'm just going to go over that lightly. And that takes care of that much easier than trying to smush it down with a sponge. Okay. Now, whoa, my feet are on a box under my table and it tried to buck me off. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another one. These have black on them. I'm going to take another one, and I think what I'm going to do is lift this up, find the center, because I have a hole in it. Move my hands. Okay, so I poked the center, so I know where that is, so that I can look at this and come down in the center. How about that? Now, I'm going to take my rubber tip tool and I'm going to go around this, and I'm going fairly deeply. For a reason. Because I want. Okay, hold please. So what I was doing right there, you're going to see later that I should have, right then when I was going to glaze the outside border, I should have done it right then while that inside template was there. And then I could have gone right around that outside border with no problem whatsoever. But I didn't. So if you do this, when you put your smaller template down, and sorry, I used my rubber tip tool really deeply because I wanted those lines to show in my finished dish. But I should have, while the clay was flat, I should have glazed around the outside border, which you're going to see I do glaze the outside border at the very end of this. But I just wanted to throw that in there really quickly. Hey everyone. I'm going to go with this one. See if I can find, where's my hole? There it is. There it is. And I'm making sure that this template is lined up the correct way. And now I'm going to do this again. Just spin this around. Okay, now I'm going to take that one off and very lightly go around so it'll pick up the little crumbs. Just like that. I shouldn't. I really want to put this back on, and go deeper. But I'm not. All right. Now, what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to take my stencil and put in the center of this. I also have this one that I did with a different material. And I'm thinking I might go around the outside edge. Which way would I want to go? I might do that around the outside edge. Maybe I'm going to do that. But for right now, I'm going to peel this. This has a backing on it. I guess I don't even really need to. And I'm going to put this Does that look centered? No. That looks pretty good. Where is my pony roller? Oh, I left it on the slab. Okay, got my pony roller. I'm just gonna lightly. I should have cleaned it, obviously. Let me see if I can get some of these crumbs off because I didn't clean my pony roller. Sometimes you just don't think, and today's been one of those days that I should just go lay in bed, eat bonbons, and watch a movie. However, I don't have that luxury. This, there. Oh, that looks gorgeous. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, these are fine line applicators. Fine line applicators, these are a 20 gauge. I have put in this one Stroke and Coat Orange Appeal. This will bisque fire a glossy color. And I put this in here. These caps screw on and they come with the little pins already in them. So be careful. And so what I'm going to do is try not to mess up these lines. And I'm going to come in and squeeze this in. And if it doesn't want to squeeze, test it first on, there we go, on your table. Because you don't want to have it go poof. So I'm going to go into this one. And you don't want to be pressing this point down in your clay because it will leave scratch marks. So be careful. Whoops, I don't want to press down on my clay either. So, whoops, be careful as you do this. I just pressed it down a little too much. So I'm going to actually go over this. Because I don't want that to show. So I'm just going to fill this in. If you watched the clay thing this last weekend, I've had these. Obviously, I've had these clay that I have to look it up and see what it was called. For some reason, it's slipping my mind. But I've had these applicators, and I hadn't gotten around to using them. But Megan Yarnell was using these, and I was like, oh, what have I been waiting for? And I've got 3 colors. And so I'm using also Paula McCoy color concentrates, and I have them in applicators as well that I'll be using. So I want to do like every other one. I want glossy, and hers will be matte, and then glossy and matte. So I think I'm going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Did I start with 1? 1. Glossy matte, 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 glossy. Perfect. So I'm going to do every other one glossy. Oh, I had a blowout. That I did exactly what I told you not to do. There we go. So be sure you keep this up off your clay. And my hand's slightly touching back here, but I'm holding it up because I don't want to smash that design I put in my clay. And I had to do that first because otherwise I would have had to wait to put that template on until this dried. And this is pretty thick, so it's going to be a bit before it dries. Get off there. I might speed some of this up. There we go. The other thing is, if you do these, if you do like every other one, let it dry some and come back, they won't jump into each other's space. I have an air pen as well that I need to get out and do this with my air pen, because I can tell you right now, this is going to be hard on the hands if you're not used to squeezing. Is my head in your way? No. And because this is so puffy, it's going to leave some texture. And Megan, I hadn't thought about this, but it was a real interesting concept. She does glossy and matte, the contrast. And I had not thought about that, but that's what we're going to do on this one. Glossy and matte. I got to find a way to squeeze this better. Oh, there we go. Oh, that works. I can squeeze sideways better. Look how much faster that is for me too. I hope I'm not touching the clay with my needle. I do see a bubble that I wanted to pop. And I can see a spot that I missed. That's good. And once you got the hang of this, I think it would go pretty fast. The other thing I'm thinking is that you start out in the middle, not an edge. So if you do have a blowout, it doesn't go over the line. What do you think of that? Pretty pretty. And then when you're done, put your cap back in because it's got the needle already in it and it screws right on. This was Stroke and Coat SC75 Orange Appeal. And I can tell you this is going to be a long video. All right, I am going to go to Paula McCoy's Color Concentrate. This is Candy Apple Red C112. I did not water this down. I probably should have. I did not. She always cringes. Oh, this works much better than the Stroke and Coat. All right. This is Color Concentrate CC160 Key Lime. We're going to do some of the leaves in Key Lime. See how much easier much easier. And just stay within your lines. So, green. I'm going to be using a Stroke and Coat Irish Luck, a dark green. So dark green, light green, dark green, light green. And I'm going to do the light green in the middle. And why do you ask? Why did I do it in the middle? Only because it was the biggest, and this stuff is easier to squirt out than the Stroke and Coat. There's that. And I'll speed this up on the actual replay. And then we got, it'll be dark green. So I'm going to go ahead and go light green here. And dark green, that's going to put two light greens together, but it is what it is. Okay. There's that. And I'll leave dark green for the stem. It's really hard to see to put these needles back in. Now we're going to do, what color do we want to do the hat? I think I did blue for that. This is Stroke and Coat's Bluegrass. And I'm hoping this won't run through yet. There we go. So I'm going to start over here. and just come around and squeeze this in. You know, I may take a brush. Let me help lay this down with a brush. That's faster. We'll do 2 techniques. Kind of float it in with a brush. Just like that. All right. I want to make sure I get this off that line before it runs over it. How many of you watched Ceramic School's clay weekend? There was a lot of claying going on this weekend, I'll tell you that. And it runs like all through the night. So if you're ever going to do it, I'd say you spend the extra $30 and get the lifetime access, because you're never going to see it all in the weekend. Look at him. Oh, he's cute. Oh, let's do his little feet. The same color. And I'm going to do his sleeves. The same color. It's really hard to line up the pen if you can't see well. This was Stroke and Coats 29 Bluegrass. And I'm going to just kind of float this in. Just like this. And this little sleeve. Can you guys hear the train? I hear the train. There. Oh, how cute. How cute. All right. I gotta let that. Okay. as I said, this is going to be a long video because that takes some time. So you saw when I started with the red, and that was Color Concentrates CC112 Candy Apple Red. But my Stroke and Coat orange peel was still too wet, and I saw immediately I needed to let it set up because the red was going to run into it. That's why I backed off of that and went to the other colors. So that was one mistake. If you order those pins, you want the smaller number gauge because it's actually the bigger opening. For Stroke and Coat, you want the bigger opening. Paula, if you're going to use Color Concentrate, she says she has lids that can go on these. But the lids for the Stroke and Coat are much bigger. So I don't know, Paula, if you have bigger ones for that too. So let us know in the chat. The other mistake I made was, besides the needle was really small, if I had that 18 gauge instead of the 20, it would have flowed out much easier. And then the other mistake I made was when I put the, first the lighter green on the leaves, I thought I was using key lime. I was actually using lemon peel. So I did wipe that off and go back and put the key lime in case you happen to notice that. Yeah, I made a boo-boos. It was called Clay Camp. That's what it was. No larger ones, Paula? Okay. So the thing that I saw Megan Yarnell do, which I had never thought of doing, was the glossy with the matte. And I'm like, oh my God, I love that. That's why this gnome is getting Stroke and Coat and Color Concentrates. Because it'll be glossy and matte. And the gnome and the little, where you saw me use the Happy Flower templates, inside that smaller circle, I am not going to put a clear glaze. I'm going to leave that just the clay, so these colors will pop out and you will see the glossy and the matte. If I put a clear glaze over that, then they'd both be glossy, and in that case I would have just used Color Concentrates all the way through. Peggy, it's okay. Penny, it's okay. We don't care if you're late, you're here. And the replays are always there. Okay, and since you are late, that was only the first video. So the second video is about 15 minutes, and basically what I'm doing is simply coloring the rest, because I did every other one on things so it could dry. I'm coloring the rest. So I think I did some speed ups on that too, and then the rest of the videos are short. So let's go to that. Okay, I forgot to turn the recorder back on. Whoa. But all I've done was filled in the orange, which is Colors for Earth. Where'd it go? So I did that one. Well, I guess that was orange appeal right there. And now we're going to use Color Concentrates 122 lemon peel. I did go pull the lemon peel out of the leaf and put the 160 key lime in there while I was off camera. So put lemon peel in there. I mean, yeah, lemon. What do I have? Lemon peel. Okay. I just get this somewhat close, and then I'll push it out to the edges because I don't want this to run like that. So I just kind of push it out to the edge, just like that. If it does run just a little bit, I take a brush and I just go right between the two and pull that off. Just like that. Just like that. Can you see that? Look at how beautiful. So I push it just a little bit, but you got to be really careful. You don't want your needle to gouge the clay. And that works a whole lot better. All right. And that's it for that. Now let's see, that was stroke and coat. Maybe I'll do bright yellow for the rim of his hat. Let's do that. There, that's going to be pretty, blue and yellow. Okay. This is going to be a long video. Let's go back over to stroke and coat. We are going to use Irish Luck SC36 on the stem and the other part of the leaves. We're almost done with this little dude. There we go. I struggle to see some of this. All right. That was Irish Luck Stroke and Coat. And we need to do, oh, I missed. I missed. Two of the leaves. I don't know if paintbrush would be easier. And I'm going to go with red, or the candy apple red for the mittens. All right, that takes care of that. Okay, now I'm using Color Concentrates Vellum Gray. I'm going to do that on his mustache and his beard. Sitting on this stool is not fun. So I'm going to do Okay, I mixed a tiny bit of the gray since I had it out and the candy apple since I had it out. Just kind of mixed a little bit together, and I'm just going to brush that on the nose. And I'll do several coats of that. Just because I don't want his nose gray, I want it to have a little bit of color, right? Just like that. And I'll let that dry a bit. And I'll do a second coat here on the beard, and then we'll go to the outer edges. Okay, so now we'll be moving right along because it won't take so long. I don't know how many of you are still with me. I know this is a long video. Okay, so moving right along. I'm going to show you before the stencil is removed and then after. All right, we're going to pull this little stencil off. I forgot to take the backing off of it. So it's stuck, but that's okay. Whoops, come out of here. This paper wouldn't have stuck if I hadn't have left it on the back. You're supposed to peel that first. I didn't. See if I can get that. There's that. And then I have this one. There. And then there you have it. I got to fix where I stuck the needle tool in. And over here where I had to dig it out. But look at that. And by using that, so you see, once you use that dark clay and you pull that stencil out, the lines will stay dark. So, well, I'll show you what I finished in a minute. Let's go jump to the next video. All right, I've been having a little bit of an issue with my microphone, so I'm going to be checking constantly, make sure it's still working. I have had, oh, I don't have my upper camera plugged in. Hold please. All right, there we go. So I've had this sitting under plastic, and how I did that was I had a plastic trash bag that I have my clay sitting on, and I folded it up around, made a little well in there so that the plastic could go over the top without touching the glaze, because I needed it to dry, but I needed my clay to stay soft in order to make the dish. And if I touch this, my glaze is dry, so now I could actually make my dish, and then I'll go back and touch up some of this glaze after the dish is flipped over. So let's get started on that. Okay, we're ready. So what I want to do first is I use my it's actually 13 1/4 inch template to cut this clay. So I'm just going to lift it up and set it back on this template, just so that I can mess around with it and not bend it, warp it, and all that. So what I want to do, so I'm just holding this, isn't it cute? So I'm going to put my peg in here, and I am going to put just another template in there just because. And I'm using a 9.5 inch round. This is our round dual drape, rolling round, a 9.5. Gosh, we came out with these 45 years ago. Doing these rounded edges. We also have our thinner dinners, which really have a rounded off edge, and I could use that as well. But I went ahead and chose the dual drape for today. And now I'm going to take and I'm going to have to just, I'm back there. That was not good. Okay, I had the center marked from something before. So I'm just going to actually make a change. I'm going to put this 13.5 inch template, or 13 1/4 inch template on here. Just because that's the size my clay was. I'm going to set my clay down for a minute very carefully so I can stick that on. This way I could take my clay and line it up better on this template, just so that I can try to get this centered. I'm going to come this way just a hair. It needs to come over just a bit more. That's why I wasn't pressing it down much. I want to lift this and make sure, nope, not smearing anything. All right, that's pretty good. So I'm going to find my little red rib. And just kind of swoop around here. We are the sassy swoopers after all. Come around. And I'm just lightly taking it down. And now I'm going to come up a little bit. And I'm not pressing hard. I'm just bringing it in so my edges don't crack. And now I'm just going to come around and smooth this down, smooth around the outer edge of our rolling round dual drape. I'm going to take my yellow rib and I'm going to go across the top here, because I want that nice and flat, and I want to get rid of the hole that I poked so I could find the middle. And what I love about our banding wheel system is that it centers and it won't slide off. And I struggled with that. Now it connects over the top. I can see that this is not exactly centered on my template, but it's going to be good. It's going to be close enough. So now I need to go get some clay to make the foot. I want this to have a nice foot. I don't know why I keep going to that overhead. So I'm gonna talk little and keep playing the videos. This next video is making a double foot inside this dish. We're back. I'm just gonna do a simple corn cob foot on this. I'm not gonna get fancy. And so I have a piece of scrap clay that I have compressed down, and I'm just going to run my corn cob down this. Move this piece out of my way. Kind of get a feel for how much I'm going to need. There we go. Do another one. Might have to cut through that one. And I'm going to do one more in case I want to do an extra one in the center just for some extra stability. And grab my knife here. I don't press down on one side as hard as I do the other. So I usually end up having to cut it, but that's fine. All right. I'm going to go set this over and I'll be right back. Because I don't want that to dry out any more than it already is. Bring this back over. There it is. And I just want to come in a little bit. I don't want to be right on the outer edge. And I'm going to take, you can't see, let me scooch up. There you go. And I'm just going to, I dip my tool in the water just to kind of help make slip as I go. Oops. And I'm going to do the other one because I know I'm going to need it. This is my Zoom needle tool with the scoring tool on the back end. I use this most of the time. That is my go-to. My go-to. And then I'm just gonna add a little water. I just kind of touch down and let it run in the grooves. And here we go. Scoop this down. And what I'm going to do is lay this on here. And I'm just pulling this around with my fingers. Just like that, making sure it's nice and pretty and round. And I need just a tiny bit of this one. Got a hair. I'm still shedding somewhat. I cut at an angle just to give a little more grab to it. And then I do want to score this, and I'll touch it with a wet brush and just push that together, just like that. See how that comes together and you don't even notice it? Did I not? Oh, I did. Notice how I switch hands. I'm kind of ambidextrous and I've just always done that. It's what happens when you have a second grade teacher that doesn't want to allow you to be left-handed. So they whack you on the knuckles every time they go by when they see you using your left hand. Make you use your right hand. Now I'm just going to take my damp sponge and spin this around. See how nice and round and perfect that is? I knocked that a little out of round, so I stuck my finger in it. All right. Take my craft brush, clean these edges, and again, this banding wheel makes it so easy, and I don't have to worry about knocking my dish off, which I used to knock it off. I was constantly, come back, come back, come back. With this thing, you don't have to worry about that. Let me go the inside here. I want to get those extra score marks out of there. How many of you struggle with making a foot? I know when I first started, making a foot was like next to impossible. And my instinct was, okay, I'm not going to make a foot. It's just pretty enough without it. Well, let me tell you, yes, it's pretty enough without it, but there is a perceived value, a perceived higher value with a pot that has a foot. So instead of running, if you're not comfortable making a foot, just sit and make a bunch of feet. Feet, 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 feet. Because after a few times, you'll get it. And then you'll be making those pots that have that higher perceived value. Now, that's not to say that like trinket dishes and things like that are perfectly fine without a foot, because they are. They're perfectly fine with or without a foot. So now I think, because that's an awful wide spread, I think I'm going to put this right here kind of center this. And make just a slight mark. See my mark? And then I'm going to score that. That gives me a perfectly round center. And I'm staying kind of in the center of that line. And again, I'm going to dab water in it, just like we did on the outside. Again, this is Laguna. They're dark clay. I love it. Oh my gosh. Could that have been any better? It's just a hair small, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to push it in and make it fit. I can make that round and make that fit. Just like that. Instead of make a whole nother foot, I'm gonna fudge it a little. This kind of looks like fudge. Just like that. And now I'm going to take my sponge and make sure I have it rounded. Right here is not as round as I want it, so I'll go press it out. There. Now I'm going to add a little water to my fingers so that I can just kind of pinch around this edge. One, I'm smearing away the score marks, but two, I'm pinching in that outer edge and softening it. As soon as my fingers start to stick, I re-wet them. And now it's wet, it'll slide. And look at that. Now I want to get this water off of here. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the outer one. I'm just going to wet my fingers and kind of slide them around. And once I've got it wet, I'm going to pinch my fingers so that I can round this and it's not so squared off. I just think it's a little prettier. Just like that. How's that? For pretty! When you're learning feet, just take your time and know before you get to this point of pinching and rounding that it may not look so pretty. Don't give up on it. Keep going. You'll get it round and pretty. All right. We go around this. Oh, wow. Didn't mean to have a bunch of water in there. See the amount of slip that comes off of that? That one, not so much. There. How's that? All right. So I didn't need this guy after all. And while it's upside down and wet, I do want to put my mark in there. So I'm going to stick this. Kind of want to roll it around and not press it too hard because I don't want it to show on the bottom of the inside. And there we go. We're going to let this set until we can flip it over. We'll be back. Okay, we're on the home stretch. I told you this was going to be a long live. I should have broken this into two, is what I should have done. So I'm going to just keep going. We will flip this and see what's on the inside. And this isn't a hint or anything, right? So let's flip this. Well, I think it's about time to flip this baby. So I like to take, again, my zoom tool, and I just kind of stick it under there and lift it so I can get my fingers under it. And I'm just going to take another template and flip this over and pop this off and pull out my little peg. Oh, I think I'm going to love this. Now, usually I'd use a pucker doodad, but this one I could see was going to pop right out. And look at this. Oh, I got that centered almost perfect. I love it. So, as with everything, there's always a little bit of cleanup. Where's my red rib hiding? Ah, there it is. I saw it floating in there. I see where I hit the template with that, so I'm just gonna rib that out. Anything you can do before you get it bone dry is best. So, swishing for my sponge. Oh, you can see where I squeeze it. I went to squeeze a lemon for my ice water at a restaurant the other day, and when I squeezed it, it did that same thing and squirted right into Mr. Wilson's eye. I thought it was hysterical. I was rolling. He, not so much, but I thought it was pretty funny. But look at this. So what I'm going to do, again, I like to do all the work I can do before it's bone dry. I'm going to take my little cut rib, and I like to go around. You have to be real careful that you don't scratch it up on the bottom with this. So I have actually rounded these off with sandpaper because you do have to be careful. You will gouge the bottom. But I like to go slowly around and really round this off. Makes a gorgeous polished edge. Just like this. See, I did come down just a bit with that. That's okay, we'll just fix that, but that's why I try to go slow, keep it straight. Okay. Now, I can either use this or back to my red. I did do a little gouge right there, and I have my finger held underneath here to hold this up to kind of smooth out that little spot that I gouged. And I thought there was another spot. Well, I guess not. I guess that was it. Okay. So I'm going to come around with my sponge. Just like that. And that is adorable. So, got my lines here, and I'm thinking I may want to take a good wide brush and go up to this with maybe the red color. Bring it all right up to that line, and then we'll cut lines out of it. I think that's what we're going to do. So let me get my stuff ready, and I'll be right back. Okay, so Melody, it is about 6.5 inches. And then, of course, if you're talking for mugs, there's also the stamp that comes in it. And it is 3.5 inches tall. So, all right. So let's move on. There's only 3 more quick videos and we'll be done. I told you it was a biggie. Well, I didn't turn the camera on while I went back and touched up, but I simply went back and touched up with the little pins, whatever you want to call them, the same way you saw me do. And the touch-up has made a huge difference. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to take the Stroke and Coat Orange Appeal, and I want to go around this border. Now, my stool squeaking. If I'd have been smart, while it was still flat, I would have put that template back in there and just slapped it around there and been perfect. Now I'm going to have to be very, very, very careful on how I do this. Rinse this out and put the glaze in it. Squirted. All right. So we're going to attempt this. And I may wipe it off and wait until after it's misfired. But I'm going to try this way. So. Excuse me. No, that's my squeezing it out of the bottle. That's not me. So I'm using Stroke and Coat SC75 Orange Appeal, which is the same as I did those little orange spots. So I'm gonna just stir that. It's got some little crusty things in it. And we're gonna see if I can do this without making a teetotal mess, or if I'm gonna have to wait. So I'm gonna just follow the line. Oh, that's not going to be as bad as I thought it was. won't be as bad as I thought it was by having that indented line there to follow. Would have been better if I'd have left the template on and done it flat though. So if I don't talk a lot, because I have to concentrate on this. Oh, that'll work. Look at that, that'll work. I do need to concentrate though. All right, I've gone around for the first coat. Then I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to go around a second coat. Oh, that's going to be pretty. Okay, so what I do is go around and do a second coat. I'm not going to put you through it. It's exactly like the first coat, but I want to show you what it looked like. All right, hold on, I'm over here. Okay, I went to get the finished piece because I made a couple quick changes. So on his nose, I went ahead and mixed up some more red and gray. Actually, no, I grabbed white and red. Paula McCoy's color concentrates. Mixed it up, and I dabbed on his nose so it was puffy, because when I did it just with the brush, it was flat. Well, and everything's all puffy. So I did that. And then what I'm going to do when this gets a little more leather hard is I'm going to take my my carving tool, and I'm going to go around this inside line that I've already dug in with the rubber tip tool. And what that will do is take any little overflows I might have had and make it perfectly even. But I needed this to dry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably take and flick a little bit of orange drops, little orange speckles in here. And my question to you is, would you take your carving tool and carve lines all the way around for some added interest, or leave it as is? But I do want to flick a little bit of color in the center. My vote was to carve lines all the way around. So tell me what you think of that. And an hour and a half instead of an hour, that's not bad. I thought it was going to be longer. So what are your thoughts? Oh, Peggy, I'm excited to see it fired as well. Would you, and look at the back of that, how pretty. Would you do line carvings and speckle. Let me go grab the line carve item. Where is it? This type of thing. Putting lines all the way around it. Yeah, it's not my specialty either, but the only way for me to get better at something is to continue to do it. So, do you think this would add added interest or leave it alone? But I do want to speckle in the middle. All right. And while you're answering that, that is it for tonight. No carved lines, leave it as is. Okay, then we're gonna just leave it as is. Do I spy a new roller? Do you spy a new roller? Oh, this roller, yeah, I haven't put it out, but I did a stencil. Our Christmas tree has this new stencil. And remember when I did that gnomie plate? Where is it? Let me grab it. Maybe. This guy, he needs to be refired. That texture was a stencil, and I made that texture into a rolling pin, and oh my gosh, it is amazing. But we got sick. We just haven't put anything down. Little flowers around the edges. Yeah, that might be really pretty because I kind of feel like it needs something. I may do that. If I do, I'm going to post it for you guys. And let's see. That is it. We're done. You always scan the table behind me. Well, this is something we've had for a while and have never brought out. This is a base of a bowl that you would add a slab to. It already has a foot in it, and it's got carvings in it. That's been sitting there forever and a day. Oh, sorry. Texas is down there. I don't think there's anything else new sitting there. I don't. Other than if you came in late, you may have missed our broke rectangle that we made into forms. And I have not used them yet. They match these. But I will use them because I think they are going to be phenomenal. Anyway, that's it. I've kept you guys long enough. I am going to jump off here, go take a shower, and my heated mattress pad is on in my bed, and I am going to go lay down. Pull a petal shape around the dish we did tonight, Dan, around this dish. Put that bowl on the website, please. Melody, what bowl? What bowl? What size lemon drop did you use for the gnome plate? This was the 5-inch lemon drop with the 7.5, the template for the 7.5. If this is the one you're talking about. Is he just adorable? Put the bowl on the website, please. Peggy says bowl. Okay, guys. I need to know which bowl you're talking about. I don't know which bowl. I know there's... Oh, you're welcome, Sharon. The one behind me. Oh, this? This is actually kind of a bowl, but really what it is, which I did not use, it's kind of like a bottom, and then you would add sidewall. Kind of like for this, but I did not use that for this. But it's kind of like the bottom, and then you would add a slab sidewall. So it's that shape right there on the bottom. And it can come carved, not carved, whatever. But in my first test run, it needed a bigger foot. So, so it would be very shallow. And then where this is, you would actually add a slab. But I've been working on this for months and months and months, and it goes by the wayside. But it's been sitting there for a long time. I'm surprised somebody hasn't asked about it. All right, the pen will be amazing. Misty Lee Pottery. Yeah, you know, here, hold that thought. I'll grab a piece of clay. A quick piece of clay. I guess, you know, does anybody want to go anywhere else besides right here? You know, sleep in bed is overrated, right? Dale, I'm on the live still. He's going, what? Let me, I don't have my overhead camera on, so I'm going to roll this and then I'll just pick it up and show it to you. I just got a small piece of clay here. And maybe I'll just make it a little dish. But not tonight. I'll just roll this. So, I'm going to take this. Move this stuff out of my way. And roll this. It's, this clay is soft. It's sticking a little. Oh my gosh. Oh, geez. That's pretty. Can you see that? That's really pretty. I haven't played with that one yet. I don't think it's ever been rolled in clay. And can you see the depth of it? So, yeah, Melody, you do. Pull right up, hook up your RV, and off we go. As soon as we get that building done, we're going to try to work on that. All right.
What did you roll out?
This one.
What is that one?
That was the stencil that's on that Christmas tree and on the gnomie. And I made it into a pin and had never rolled it out, but look at that.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's pretty. All right, guys. We're out of here. We will see you later. For those of you that stayed through the whole entire thing, I commend you. See you next time.